Good morning. Good morning. It's Cheryl's Coffee. Hope you're having a great day. Hope your coffee is warm and sweet. Could be coffee, could be wine. It's coffee this morning. And got the children's to school. Got my day planned. Hope you have something fun on your docket today, or meaningful, or relaxing, whatever you need today. I hope it is provided to you or you go seek it out. And man, so it's for context, it is November. We've had an exciting week. Hard week for some. Presidential election of 2024 happened this Tuesday, and thankfully we had results the night of. That has not happened in a while. I think that helps to keep people from the anxiety down. For some, it gets to the bad sooner. For others, it gets to the happy sooner. But thinking back to 2016, it was sometime in the middle of the night. It finally was called, and then 2020 days later, and that's just rough on everybody. But we're moving on to better things than talking about politics, which I do love talking about, but sometimes it can be too much all over social media, all the negative everywhere. And it's too much. So I'm looking forward to the holiday season. Holidays are coming. If you guys know, I love wine and coffee and all the good things. And Aldi, shout out to Aldi. If you do not know, every year they drop the first week of November their advent calendars, and they're really cool. So they're not just the regulars. Now they do have the regular inexpensive ones for kids. I think they were like $1.29 this year. They're usually like $1, and they're super cute. And I get those for my kids every year. And has the little doors. If you don't know what Advent calendar is, Advent is a season leading up to Christmas, the birth of Christ, celebrated specifically in Catholic religion still. I come from a Baptist background, but I love the idea of the countdown to Christmas. And that's basically what the Advent calendar is. It's a calendar. It has, 24 doors. Sometimes they have 12, depending on which one you buy, like the 12 days of Christmas ones. And you open up it's like a little perforated, you pop out the door and there's a little treat inside. So a chocolate or whatever. But in the last few years, companies have started making really cool ones, and you can get Lego ones and perfume ones and coffee and tea and all this. And Aldi always does a wine one. And it's these adorable little small bottles of wine. My husband and I open them up every night leading to Christmas, and it's enough for like a 4-ounce pour for each person, maybe 3.5. They're small. It's just a little treat, and they're not fancy wines. These are just run-of-the-mill wines. And then on Christmas Eve, it's a sparkling wine. So it's just something fun we love to do. But now they have all kinds of cool ones. And I did grab a couple others for my sister. She wanted a Bailey's one. They have really fun ones. Anyway, I go, oh, the cheese one. They have a cheese advent. It's these little pieces of cheese that you open up. It's adorable. My son and I share it. We wait usually, and then on like Friday or Saturday, I'll open up like that 6 or 7 for the week and make a little cheese plate. And we share that so, it's a great way to start some traditions with your kids. So all my kids know they get the Christmas one or the chocolate one. And then my older boy and I share the cheese one, and my husband and I share the wine one. And you have to go fast because they do start to sell out. So I did have a car loaded down with them for me, my sister, and my niece yesterday. So I'm moving into better things for the holiday season, getting ready for Thanksgiving, celebrating for the first time without my mom. My mom passed this fall. We were expecting it. So that's, pros and cons about that. But we're trying some new things for the holidays and starting some new traditions, a little bit of avoidance and a little bit of starting something new. So I'll tell you more about that as we get closer to Thanksgiving. I love Thanksgiving. I typically host. This year I'm not officially hosting because we're doing something different. I decorate my house for Thanksgiving. I have a 12-foot turkey I put out in the front of my house, and I do not skip over Thanksgiving to Christmas. Then once Christmas hits, I'm all in, but that's another story for another time. But man, oh man, I wanted to talk to you today about something that I have a love-hate relationship with. Most women will probably feel the same way, or they will really love it, or they will really hate it. I'm kind of can see both sides to it, but it is direct sales or multi-level marketing, MLMs, network marketing. Let that roll around in your head and think about all the things that you know about those. It's probably going to evoke some sort of a visceral response for most of us. For most of us middle-aged-ish women, middle-aged white women especially. What does that make you think of if you hear multi-level marketing, MLMs, those things? So if you don't know what those are, it's like the old Avon. It's the old Avon, Tupperware, where traditionally, it's not always, but traditionally women will become a distributor. What is this on me? Whatever the word they use in that company, a salesperson, basically, a salesperson for these companies. And back in the day, this was pretty commonplace, right? The door-to-door salesman was legit business. Hoover was all door-to-door sales, lots of cleaning products. I mean, now we have, what is it? Windows. I get windows at the door, tree trimming, roofing, painting, all kinds of house things, and it's a little schwarmy, whatever, but it's a legitimate sales model that many companies use and people do fairly well on it if they're a good salesperson. But to make it a little bit more palatable for women, typically we're not out knocking doors anymore. We, back in the day would do the house parties, right? You get an invitation in the mail or in your box at work to come to a jewelry party at someone's house or a pampered chef. I don't care if I throw out the names. I'm not getting any money from these. I'm not saying negative things about these companies. I have all these products in my home, which I would probably think many of you do as well. And most of the time, pretty good products. I love my Pampered Chef. I put it up against really any mid to high. They're not like the highest quality, but they're also not the low quality for sure. And they have Pampered Chef has a great return program. I use them daily in my kitchen. It's a household name. And we all know Avon, right? Tupperware kind of made a comeback for a while. And so it's like, there's kind of this underground, like, oh, I would never sell that. But at the same time, everybody got a Tupperware Kool-Aid pitcher at their house. Come on, everybody does. Or some sort of a lunch container. We all have it. We love them. It evokes a memory of childhood. So they are legit businesses. Now, if you are on any kind of social media, you see people selling this stuff. I will admit, I've sold it many different companies. The idea of it is really, what's the word? Makes you want it. Enticing. It's really enticing to think, okay, I can make a little bit of money and I'm hanging out with my friends. It's so fun. I remember going in high school with my mom to a jewelry party. Premier Jewelry. Loved it. I still have some of it. It's a good call. Costume jewelry, right? I mean, it's not diamonds and gold. It's costume jewelry. We all know this. And I remember my sister saying, you would be so good at this because you're not nervous to get up and talk in front of people and you love jewelry and you love women and yada, yada. And I was like, whatever. And it slowly, it started enticing me. And so I've tried out, this is kind of my journey of direct sales. I started with a company, my sister's mother-in-law actually did very well in a health and wellness company. I have used their products. I use their products all instead of buying the pharmaceutical prenatals. I used these products. They're very, very good. And they have like third-party testing, all the things. It's a 40-year-old company, maybe 50, 60. I don't know. It's a long time company. That did not work out for me. I did not know what I was doing. And it was not as fun to sell health and wellness products when you're 25. It's not really, your people aren't really into that yet. I then, did traditional career, blah, 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 blah. And then I did LipSense. Hella love LipSense and all of their products. Still love them, still wear them. And that was a wonderful product and great experience at the beginning. Holy cow. The ability to make money in sales. Now, everybody that's in sales is making money off of other people's purchases. We do know this, right? Like, let's not mince words about it. If somebody's husband is selling software, the more that he sells, the more money he makes. He's getting a commission. He may have a base pay, but he's getting a commission off of selling to people that they know in the industry, right? So let's not mince that in any way. And if they bring in a new salesperson, they typically get a small bonus. Did you know that? If they hit certain sales quotas, they get another bonus. These are very similar to the commission or compensation plans that are provided by MLMs, but for some reason, we turn our nose down at these people. And I don't really quite understand it, why we do that as women. Like, oh, they're not real salespeople. Well, it's literally the same thing. It's just on a smaller scale. They're selling something that's $50 rather than a $10,000, $100,000, $1 million like men or corporate sales. And so, of course, the commissions are going to be smaller. So I did lips since then. I did Monate, which is a hair products. Absolutely love that. Fabulous products. And then Bellamy, again, skincare. And then I was like, I think I'm done. Why was I done? Let's talk about that. Some things happened that just started to rub me the wrong way. The products were never the problem, not with the companies I was with, because I was a customer on a couple of them before I even started. And then I got, research before I jumped into those companies. Same kind of thing with legit salespeople. They are going to change their companies. I know people who their husband has done sales in car sales. Then they go to roofing. Then they go to some widget that they're selling. Then they, whatever. And no one looks down on them. And so that kind of is one thing that drives me crazy about it. Like, it's the same thing. People, yes, you're going to change a few times, just like even if you're a nurse, you're going to work for this hospital, then this hospital, then you might work for this hospital. Many people do that. So I don't know why there's the negative about that, but I know that people don't like direct sales, multi-level marketing, whatever. There are some statistics I want to share with you. They ain't going anywhere. So right now, 2024, looked up this morning, 6.7. I'm sorry. The MLM market is expected to grow 6.7% annually in the next 5 to 10 years. So it's growing. Well, there are some companies that are slowing down or changing. Some of them are going out of business, like many businesses do. That's the typical life cycle of businesses. It's growing. Now, right now, the market size for direct sales is about 201 billion right now. Expected to grow to 329 billion in the next 5 years. So definitely growing. There is a piece of the market. And this is why large companies or sometimes people will break away from Lancome, right? And then decide they're going to make their own makeup company. And it's going to, instead of being traditional where they market in department stores, they're going to market directly to the public, sort of. Right? There's still going to be the profit. It's very similar profit margins because all those layers of people are going to make money. Just like in a traditional business where all the layers of people make money. So that part of it really doesn't bother me. Unfortunately, though, in the last few years, just like in regular business, we've had some negative things happen. We all know about the legging company that just had, I don't know, I think they lost their minds. I'm going to get into now why the people don't like the direct sales. I don't know if it's because companies grow so quickly. I don't know if it's because they bring on people who don't have a business background and they make some poor decisions. I really don't know. But that company, because people were making so much money, the women, the salespeople, began to expect that sales were going to come in. And this is where it can get tricky. And I've been caught in this little cycle before. Well, for the past 2 months, I had this much sales coming in. So to speed up the product to my customers, I'm going to set up stock. I'm going to keep stock of product at my house. So, I mean, the stores do it, right? We know that we sold 5,000 packages of diapers last month. So I'm going to pre-purchase my 5,000. So it's ready to go. But they have a lot more, budget. They have other products they're selling. So if they take a little loss on the diapers, it's okay. With people with a side business, you got it. Your budget's got to be like this, where there's no extra. Otherwise, you're really not making a profit every month. So these women would start buying because what would also happen is they would put out a holiday package or whatever. But the time their people wanted to buy it, it was already out of stock. Well, that's frustrating. What do you think's going to happen? They're going to be like, well, I can never get anything. And they stop purchasing from you. So the women would, as soon as it popped the product, all the Christmas leggings pop. They buy all the Christmas leggings, hoping they're going to sell them. Other people can't get them. Then now they start trading them in between the salespeople in the same, area. They're driving these leggings around, and these women then don't always sell them, right? Maybe they sell out of all their mediums because there's more mediums than the rest. And then they get stuck with extra larges and extra smalls. And then they're like, well, crap, my profit, there went my profit because I'm never going to sell these. And then they couldn't get stuff. And then they find all these leggings molding in this warehouse. And it just turned everyone off on this company. And I keep hearing stories like this, and it makes me really, really sad. And Lipsense kind of went through that, and I was a victim to it. My friend and I that we were in Lipsense, we were selling everything we had. And if we could get the certain colors everybody wanted, I mean, we'd sell out very quickly. Well, then all of a sudden we would start taking orders, and we'd go in to place our orders, and there was no product. Well, people don't want to wait. What are they going to do? I needed a new red. I'm just going to go to the grocery store and buy a new red. And so then we would start, okay, we'd watch every day. Okay, this color's going to drop. Can you get me 10 of these? Okay, this color's going to drop. Can you get me 5 of these? And it just became this crazy thing, because with that company, if you place an order of the highest amount, you get the more profit. If you place a small order, you only get 20%, 30%, but you could get up to like 50 and 60% profit. So you always wanted to place a big order. And so you're incentivized as the salesperson to make these big orders, and then you have all the stock. Well, not everybody wants orange, but you needed 10 extra orange to get you to the top amount on your order so that you had the 50% in hopes that you were going to sell and be able to get the 50% profit. And it just became like this crazy town. And then I started thinking, are they really out of these colors? Does it take 12 months to make a color of lipstick? What? No. Yes, some things do take longer. Certain, serums and things like that may need to rest or ferment or whatever they got to do. But like lipstick, what is going on? And I just started getting this feeling that it was a false scarcity issue, and they were making bukus of money on us because we're sitting there waiting. And there were days when we put in an order every day that week and we had no incoming orders. And finally I was just like, I got to get out of here. It became like a drug. Like literally I'd be at my day job. I'm texting my friend, is anything popping today? And it would be like, I don't know. Then we just got an alert that there's now purple, and everybody, get me 5 purple in the middle of the day. And if you could log on, and you might put them in your cart, and then by the time you went to go pay, no purple. Crazy town. And it just got to be where I just couldn't do it anymore. I made good money with multiple different companies. I never hit the tops. I got real close. And then something would always happen. It would be out of product, or some weird thing would happen. And it just started to just turn me a little bit. Not on the people, sometimes the people. But it just, you start thinking, okay, I'm smart. I clearly okay at selling things and communicating to people, and I'm okay on social media because a lot of it's on social media now. Like, what? And I'm putting in all this work. I should be turning better profit. Like, my time and effort has got to be worth something. And so I found something that is worth that, and it has a much better return on my time, which is real estate. And this is not a commercial for that. It's just, I found something that makes me feel like my time and effort and abilities are being compensated in the form of me getting a paycheck, instead of, working my butt off on an all-day trade show to sell lipstick and coming home with $200 and feeling great about it. Okay, what? No, my time should be worth more than that. Or going and doing one of those, and you make $50 and the table cost $100 to even be there. And then you bought extra product and you bought decorations for your space. You're really in the red. And time after time of that, no more. Now, obviously, when you start a business, you got to put money in. But so let's talk about, though, some of the dirt, some of the tea on these companies. some more of it. So sometimes people do use the terms interchangeably. So direct sales, multi-level, network marketing, all those are legit businesses. Like I said, just like somebody that's coming to your house to sell you windows, every time they get because I know somebody does windows and he does well. If he gets a phone number, he gets $50. If that person sets up an appointment, he gets another level. If that person actually finalizes and purchases the window, whatever, he gets another level. Okay. Also built into that, if he gets, say, 5 appointments set up every day, he gets a $500 bonus. So it's very, very similar to those are the kinds of things that we had in all of the direct sales companies that I was in. If you had your base amount, like, 30% profit from sales, then if you signed up a person, you'd get a $50. If you sign up, hit 5, you get an additional 500 for the month. If those 5 people signed up X amount of people and had, $50 worth of profit on each one of them, you got another level. And then it just compounds. And so they are legit. They're totally fine being Better Business Bureau, blah, 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 blah. So just because it's direct sales does not mean it's automatically a Ponzi scheme or a pyramid scheme. So what are those? So a Ponzi scheme is when there's really not a physical product or an actual service. It's basically the company is continuing to move money around where they take, okay, I have these 5 people that sign up, they pay this amount. And then I use that money to pay these other people that get signed up. And it's just this constant, it's like the shell game. The largest Ponzi scheme ever was, everybody knows this one. This was the Bernie Madoff. He started out as a traditional trader. He had a great business. And then he just started shuffling the peanuts around, and the largest one ever. And I was reading that his sons finally convinced him to tell the truth. That there was no more, the company wasn't making any money. It was just he was asking people to invest, and it was very nebulous. And typically people with a large network that are able to get people to trust them with money. The next one, Lou Pearlman. So if you have not watched I should do a whole podcast on Dirty Pop. I had no idea. So this is Backstreet Boys, and there's another one in there. I can't remember which one. And Lou Pearlman first started out buying blimps, like blimps, that go across the stadium, like PepsiCo, whatever. He had blimps, and his biggest one was the McDonald's one. He was a shyster to start out with, but they would supposedly blow up and explode and catch on fire, and he would get the insurance money, and he would use that insurance money to look like he had this huge lifestyle. And he, he obviously had some skills, and he started Backstreet Boys. And when you watch the documentary, basically he was getting people to invest in Backstreet Boys. He would bring them into a big party, have them sing. These investors would give $10, $20, $50,000. This was 20 years ago. And he would say that they're going to get returns on when they hit it big. See, aren't they great? They're going to hit it big. They're going to hit it big. And for these people, $10,000, $15,000 wasn't that much. It was an investment, but it wasn't like us giving that kind of money. And they would give the money, and then some of them would see a profit, or he would convince them, hey, yes, so your return's going to be $12,000. You gave me 10. I'm going to give you $12,000 back. But instead, why don't you just keep it invested? Because next time it's going to be $30,000 I can return to you. And it's that cycle. That's the Ponzi scheme. And these boys, the Backstreet Boys, y'all, were making pennies. Pennies. And he eventually went to prison and then died from stress in prison. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. So that's the Ponzi schemes, right? Where there's really not this product. And most of those aren't going to even try to be a legit company. It's these kind of people that have this influence, and they kind of start their own little Ponzi scheme. Now, a pyramid scheme. This is where I thought a few of the companies I was involved in edged on pyramid, because in a pyramid scheme, it's less, you make more money on the bringing in people and recruiting than you do on that product. So remember I was talking about the commission structure. You got to make sure if you ever decide you're going to start your own MLM, Believe me, I've thought about it. You have to make sure that your people are making the money on product sales or service sales, not on bringing in, not on recruiting. And so it has to be a balanced business plan, a balanced compensation plan. I'm sure you guys have seen this once, right? Where you get these like invitation. They used to be in the mail, but now it's all on social media. An invitation to come to, a Ramada Inn and listen on a Saturday and bring 5 friends and la 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 la. And it's all based on the more people that you can bring in. Now there's usually a product in there somewhere, but it's just a pyramid scheme. And then what happens? We run out of business and you never get your money back, and very, very sad. Some people make money on it, the people at the top, and a few other people maybe kind of break even, but you do have to be really careful. And I know that's why the really good MLMs have gotten such a bad rap, and people turn their nose down on them. To try to make sure that these companies have not turned into pyramids where they're just trying to recruit people, some of them are changing their program, and they are no longer on the traditional compensation plan where it's product, half recruiting. They go to just product, and they do some affiliate. They're going to an affiliate plan. I haven't looked at these as closely because I'm not involved in any anymore. But affiliate marketing is like the people you see on Facebook that are dropping their Amazon link all the time. So if 100 people buy it, they get $1.50 on every time somebody uses their link through Amazon, then they get paid from Amazon. That's kind of how affiliate links work. And a lot of these companies, you can go in and you can choose if you're going to be a traditional distributor, if you're going to be an affiliate distributor. And so some people have chosen to just say, I'm an affiliate marketer, and they may drop in products from multiple different companies, and they're making a profit on each one. So they're basically like an online store. That's a really, surface level discussion of that. But what's sad is some of these people have been in traditional MLMs, and then the company changes, and they don't get a say in it. And all of a sudden now you're no longer getting money on your downline. The people, like I said, the other people making profit, and it's only on your own personal sales. And it's like, eek. It changes the plan, right? You got to know the plan to know how you're going to make money, which is another thing. Because I would always ask my sponsors or whatever they call it on people above me, be like, okay, well, I'm trying to figure out how much money I'm going to make this month. So I'm looking at the plan, and I've sold, this amount of money. So I'd make this on this. And then I've got 5 girls under me, and right now they've sold this. Cause you can see there's a dashboard online. I thought I was going to make $3,000, but my check came in on only $2,000. And they'd be like, oh, I don't even understand the comp plan. I don't know. I wouldn't be able to help you. I'm sorry, what? Where here I was trying to help my girls, like, okay, if you do this, this, and this, your check should be this amount. Well, then I'm like, okay, so do I not understand the comp plan, or y'all cheating me? Just a little, like, I think we should know. It's kind of like, in teaching, I've heard people say, don't ask how much the job is, because it looks like you're not in it for the kids. I'm like, I kind of think I need to know how much my paycheck's going to be. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with asking what the pay is. Now, there's no negotiating that pay in education, but I sure as heck I'm going to find out what it is. And if it's not posted clearly online, I have to ask. So that kind of was a little bit shady. And, for all of those reasons, I won't ever go back to an MLM. I'll buy all day long the products because, they're better or just the same as what I would get somewhere else. So if I can help somebody, I will buy. I don't care that yes, of course I'm making some CEO rich, but aren't we all doing that when we purchase any other product? Unless you're literally buying something that's handmade in someone's home, everybody's getting a piece of that pie. And that's okay. That's what it is. That's, I guess, commercialism. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, I thought that was kind of a fun topic to talk about today, because another company that I know did just switch from the traditional MLM model to the affiliate. And I'm sure it's because they're afraid they're going to get in trouble for something. It is a little bit of a safeguard, and it maybe is a little more desirable to some people who've had bad experiences with MLMs to move into the affiliate sides. Anyway, have you ever done an MLM? There's a super fun episode in Schitt's Creek where Moira and the son decide they're going to do a makeup company, and they bring all the friends. I mean, they buy the big products, they bring all the friends in, and all the friends, are like, yeah, this is great, but I'm already a triple diamond stellar whatever. And oh, yes, I'm a princess level 5-star, whatever. And they'd all already done it. And it's just so funny. I died laughing when that one came on. I messaged my friend that did all the MLMs with me, and I was like, girl, have you seen this? It's true to life. True to life, because I feel like everybody's kind of dabbled in it because it does seem fun and it does seem intriguing. Now, I go back to my pitfall was, and we've talked about this, my friends that were in MLMs and that are out, we all got a little taste and wanted more. If you go into it saying, I just want to make pocket money, you will make pocket money. I just want to have a little bit of money. Like if you're a stay-at-home mom and you just want to have a little bit of money that's your money, or you have a traditional job and everything at that time is going towards bills and kids and house, and you're like, I'd like just a little bit of money for some me money for my nails or whatever. You can make nail money. The problem is then we all start going, I just had a check for dollars. Could I, if I did a little bit more, could I quit my day job? Could I, what could I do here? And there's not that many people in the business model that can be at that level. And I think that's where we get, then you start cranking, and then you don't get that next level, and you're like, well, crap. So, but if it's just for extra money, I think it's a great plan. It's fun. You will meet a lot of people if you stick with it. If you're just going to buy your kit and then do nothing, don't do that. Don't do that. Or if you just want to get a cheap kit, do that. Sometimes people do kidnapping. I've done some kidnapping. I did that with Pampered Chef 2 years ago. If that's a term for MLMs, it's where they offer the kit and to buy in really cheap. So like you get all this stuff for really cheap, but you're never really going to sell. And so I would just tell my friend, hey, I'm going to be a kidnapper. So I don't need the training. I'm not planning to sell. I don't need to learn the compensation plan. Don't send me the credit card, because that's how you get paid. Don't do all that. I'm just going to buy the cheap kit. And most of the time they're like, whatever. Hey, I'll get some extra money for that too. Because they do get money if you buy the kit. Anyway, I hope this was fun this morning. If you have not gone and watched Dirty Pop, you need to go watch Dirty Pop. I might need to do a whole podcast on that now, because for someone who, grew up in the 90s and the whole boy band era and learning about what he did, I was shocked because I had no idea. And I've told people about this, and they're like, what? Those boys didn't make any money? Now, some of them did. Finally, they negotiated and got out, or they kind of went out on their own. We know all that. But in the beginning, like I'm telling y'all, those boys were working for $10,000 for the year. Okay, you know what? They were busting their butts, flying all over the world. $10,000. Very, very sad. He was definitely a criminal, and and stress got him, and he died from stress in prison. So no sympathies for me there. But anyway, have a wonderful day. Enjoy your coffee, and buy from your friends. If they're selling something, be a good helper, and have a wonderful day. Bye, guys.